for this particular dish. I love freshly grated Parmesan cheese just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. You know, but I'm okay with that. I mean, this is all gonna get pulled apart later. Hey everybody, welcome to Foodie Planet. This is basically the place where we let people come together and share their favorite recipes and just ideas about food. What does being a foodie mean? I guess it's just, you know, being really interested in food and how it gets prepared, its background, maybe some of the science. But I think really what it is, you know, after all that comes together, you're just really there kind of enjoying the magic of a great recipe when it comes together. So today we're going to prepare a great recipe. It's Pasta Puttanesca. It's a very traditional Italian recipe. Now, some of the history regarding Puttanesca, many people have probably been told, maybe you've heard, that this is like a dish that prostitutes around the turn of the century made for like during the night when they would be servicing clients. They start a big pot and throw a bunch of these ingredients that they had in their pantry and let it get going and just not have to, you know, really attend to it. And well, a certain aspect of that I definitely see as being part of the tradition of Puttanesca is that all the ingredients are stuff that you would find in your pantry, stuff that doesn't go bad. You know, we've got salted capers here and Kalamata olives, canned tomatoes, anchovies. Those are all some of the key ingredients, and you know, there's not like fresh fish and stuff like that going in it. So basically this is a spicy sauce, a spicy tomato based sauce. We're going to start with a lot of olive oil here, an entire cup of olive oil. The serving that we're going to make today actually serves 6. Now, a little word about anchovies. Of course, they're very, very salty. But what I always say to people when they tell me they don't like anchovies, I say, do you like fish? They say, yeah, I love fish. I say, do you like oil, like olive oil? They're like, yeah, I love olive oil. I'm like, do you like salty foods? They're like, oh, I love salty foods. I'm like, well, that's what anchovies are. But all those things are very intense in anchovies, so I understand what people are going for when they say that they don't like them. However, if you don't like anchovies, or if you're making this for somebody that you know hates anchovies, I would really not worry about it, because we're going to be frying these in oil, and it's going to kind of like completely dissolve the anchovies, and all they're really going to be doing is just bringing a ton of flavor to the party. So I'm going to get my medium heat going on the olive oil that I put in the pot there, and I'm just going to give these anchovies just a little coarse little chop here, just to get them going, because they cook up in there pretty quickly, but if you leave them whole, they kind of maybe just sort of take a little too long or whatever. And I'm going to be adding garlic immediately after the anchovies go in there, so I want to make sure that I don't burn the garlic trying to get the anchovies cooked. And I'm going to do 6 cloves. And then what we're going to do after that is start working on the tomatoes. Yeah, whole canned tomatoes is definitely what you want to go for. And don't go for the tomato sauce or even like crushed tomatoes or even diced tomatoes. We don't want this, you know, swimming around in our sauce once we're all done. But what we do want is kind of a rustic sort of tomatoes, kind of mashed up. But the way to get that, and I found really the best way to get that is not using a potato masher or 2 spoons or anything like that. Just start squeezing it up. And yeah, it gets a little messy. This is why I do it in a separate bowl here. Squirts all over the place, but you know, that's okay. We're gonna get a little messy in the kitchen. Get those in there. And then these are just straight up Greek Kalamata olives. Now, you know, it takes a little while to cut these up, but a really good, easy method is just to kind of take them and squeeze them and tear them. Really, once you give it one good squeeze, the pit comes out pretty easily. Let's do my little pile here. I'd say it's about a little over a cup of chopped Kalamata olives. And yeah, those can just get worked right into there. Definitely want capers. I'm gonna do about 6 big hefty spoonfuls, maybe even more. Next up, we are going to add in some dry oregano. We're gonna add just a little bit of red pepper flakes. All right, so yeah, what we want to do is just bring that up to a boil, which it is now doing. And then we're gonna bring the heat down to low, basically a simmer. And we just leave that alone for 40 minutes. I'm gonna put a little bit of just regular table salt. I really like penne rigate for this. Rigate, you know, that's just the ones that have the lines on them. It just kind of absorbs the sauce a little bit better, I feel. For the sauce, we're gonna be adding some fresh Italian parsley. This is the only fresh thing that goes into puttanesca the way that I make this. All right, so we're gonna get this chopped up here. I'd say it's gonna be about a half a cup once it's all chopped up. All right, so for this meal, I like to do just an extremely simple green salad, a good little dollop of olive oil, just a tiny, tiny bit of like apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar or whatever. So I just got a pretty standard Italian seasoning, fresh ground pepper. Always gotta do a little bit of salt. So yeah, that'll be the salad that we'll put on the side of our puttanesca when it's done. All right, so there you go. You know, you got pasta puttanesca and just a very simple wild green salad. I really recommend this for maybe you have friends in town and you don't know what you're gonna do for dinner tonight, and you say, look into your pantry and you've got the ingredients to do puttanesca. It's a great, great meal. I think people really enjoy it. I know I do, and I'm sure many of you will too if you try this recipe out. So I would like to thank you all for joining us here on Foodie Planet, and we'll see you next time.